believe we are good to go. So let's just start by inviting all the wonderful panelists who will be discussing success stories on good digital governance. So let me do the honor by first of all inviting Mr. Sameer Verma, who is an IAS officer, who is Special Secretary Finance and Registrar, Firms and Societies, Government of Uttar Pradesh. Well, now I would like to do the honor to invite Mr. S.K. Varshney, who is Advisor and Head International Cooperation, Department of Science and Technology, Government of India. Now we would like to do the honor to invite Mr. Suneel Wattal, Joint Chief Information Technology Officer, Department of IT, Government of Haryana. Well, now I would like to do the honor to invite Mr. Somenath Kundu, alternate CISO, DGM, NTPC. Well, now I would like to request Mr. Rajat Bhasin, Lead Solution Architect, India from MongoDB. Now let's welcome Dr. Seema Joshi, Vice President, ESRI, India. Last but not the least, let's welcome the moderator of the session, Dr. R.K. Arora, Border Security Professional, Professor IIT Delhi and Advisory IIT Bombay. And with that, here we have all the wonderful panelists here on the stage. With that, over to you, Dr. R.K. Arora, sir. So please proceed with the panel discussion.
So, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is the last panel discussion before the lunch, and I think everybody is waiting for lunch. But I can assure you that this time which you will spend with our panelists will be very beneficial, and everyone will enjoy this. This is a topic of success stories on good digital governance. And our panelists are having a vast experience working on the ground, implementing the technological solutions, and they know the challenges they are facing and what sort of success stories they are having. They are going to share one by one. I will not take much of time because we are already late. So let's start with Sameer Verma, sir, if he can share his success story, particularly in the digital governance, in a brief.
It's on. Okay, yeah, thank you. Let me thank you all, and especially the Observer Now team, for having me here. And before I start my thing, I would like to make a wish, and I would like everyone present in the hall to join me. And I simply want that every corner of this country should be safe for every woman for our country, and every woman in this country should feel safe in every corner of the country. Digital governance is the topic and the success story felt by the states. So because I belong to Uttar Pradesh, so I would request to allow me to go bilingual, because मैं यूपी वाला हूँ तो हिंदी और अंग्रेजी दोनों चलेगी. So when we talk about digital governance, सारे states उसमें अपना अपना कर रहे हैं, अलग अलग कर रहे हैं, और सभी के अपने अपने experiences हैं. There are four major principles which I think are the objectives you can say for the digital governance. And it starts with objectivity, it starts with neutrality, it starts with transparency, and also speed. So all the governments, they are focusing on these major objectives, and they are dealing with government to government, government to citizens, and government to business approach. By these approach, they are heading towards digital governance. एक जो interesting चीज़ है सारी governments के सामने, that they have to strike a very fine balance between a faceless governance and government with a face. So this has to be something, because sometimes when you interact, when you land with a problem or with your situation on a digital platform, and a chatbot answers you, then definitely you have an expectation also that there should be somebody on the telephone line itself to fulfill your queries and answer your questions. UP, since last few years, is doing extremely well in digital governance and this e-governance area. And There are 3-4 major schemes or platforms or programs I would like to highlight by using the opportunity given to me in this plenarium session. One is Nivesh Mitra. That is our awarded scheme, a Scotch Gold Award this scheme has won. Nivesh Mitra is a very simple platform where if you want to start a firm or if you want to start a business in UP, more than 100 kind of NOCs you will be getting from a single window platform. What you have to do, you simply have to apply on the Nivesh Mitra portal. You have to make some necessary declarations regarding your name, your firm's name, registration and all. And then it lies on the authorities to provide you all the NOCs. And I'm very proudly sharing the data that more than 1 million NOCs till now have been issued by using this platform. और निवेश मित्र हमारा एक अकेला ऐसा सिस्टम है जिसने हमें मदद की है ईज ऑफ डूइंग बिजनेस में from taking a jump from 12th position to 2nd position in the country. So we are holding the 2nd position in Nivesh Mitra itself. More than 100 departments, they are part of this Nivesh Mitra portal, and more than 150 kind of NOCs they are being issued by using these Nivesh Mitra portal. The another system is IGRS, जिसको हमने नाम दिया है जन सुनवाई का. And I think this is going to be the biggest public grievance redressal platform in the whole country. 4-5 साल पहले ये शुरू हुआ था और अभी जो लेटेस्ट फिगर है करीब 4 करोड़ 40 लाख 4 crore 40 lakhs applications have landed on this platform, and out of them more than 99% have been resolved. This is the satisfaction percentage. I think कोई भी और इंडस्ट्री में जहाँ पर इस तरह का काम होता होगा पब्लिक ग्रीवांस रिड्रेसल का 99% का सेटिस्फैक्शन रेशियो किसी भी प्लेटफॉर्म पर नहीं है. और इतना वो मैकेनिकली हम लोगों ने बनाया है उसको. ये भी हमारा जो IGRS ये भी अवार्डेड प्रोग्राम है कि एप्लीकेशन लैंड करने से लेकर के फीडबैक सिस्टम तक हम एप्लीकेंट को छोड़ते नहीं हैं. एक कंप्लीट हैंड होल्डिंग होती है इस प्लेटफॉर्म पर और 99% के साथ हम इसमें आगे चल रहे हैं. एक और हमारा बहुत ही इनोवेटिव प्रोग्राम है प्रेरणा, जिसमें प्रॉपर्टी रजिस्ट्रेशन हम करते हैं, जिसमें डॉक्यूमेंट्स जो भी हम प्रॉपर्टी की सेल डीड करते हैं या बेचते हैं खरीदते हैं उनका रजिस्ट्रेशन है. और मुझे बताते हुए खुशी हो रही है कि सिर्फ एक साल में 18,000 करोड़ से ज़्यादा का रेवेन्यू हमें केवल इस प्लेटफॉर्म से मिला है. एंड द प्रॉपर्टीज़ विच वी हैव रजिस्टर्ड उनकी मार्केट वैल्यू 2.5 लाख करोड़ से ज़्यादा है, 2.5 ट्रिलियन इंडियन रुपीज़. सारे डॉक्यूमेंट्स इस पर रजिस्टर होते हैं. आप सारे जितने भी आपके इनकम्बरेंसेस सर्टिफिकेट्स हैं वो आप उस पर निकाल सकते हो. ये हमारा है. और अभी लेटेस्ट हम लोगों ने, बिकॉज आई बिलोंग टू द फाइनेंस डिपार्टमेंट, तो फाइनेंस डिपार्टमेंट का भी इसमें रिप्रेजेंटेशन होना चाहिए हमारी स्कीम में. हम लोगों ने शुरू किया है ई-राजकोष. और ये बहुत सिंपल सा सिस्टम है. हर गवर्नमेंट में टैक्स रेवेन्यू एंड नॉन टैक्स रेवेन्यू का कलेक्शन होता है. फॉर दैट वी हैव मेड अ प्लेटफॉर्म जिसमें 24/7 दिस फैसिलिटीज़ अवेलेबल. आप अपना पर्सनल टैक्स से लेकर के कोई भी गवर्नमेंट का टैक्स है आप डिजिटली ट्रांजैक्ट कर सकते हो, और वो हमारा रियल टाइम हमारा डेटा हमारे डैशबोर्ड पे रहता है, जो हमको ये भी मदद करता है आगे कि हमारा कैश आउटफ्लो किस तरह से हम मैनेज करना है इन रिस्पॉन्स टू द कैश इनफ्लो. तो देयर आर मेनी स्कीम्स. और अभी बिल्कुल लेटेस्ट हम लोगों ने जो शुरू किया है वो एक ध्वनि प्रोग्राम है, दैट इज़ AI बेस्ड, जिसमें हम फेस वैलिडेशन से लेके फेस रिकॉग्निशन से लेकर के चैटबॉट सर्विसेज भी दे रहे हैं. प्रॉब्लम यूपी जैसे स्टेट के साथ ये है कि व्हेन वी आर प्लानिंग टू गो डिजिटल इन अ बिग वे, वी हैव टू अटेंड 3 मेजर सेक्टर्स, or we can say that there are 3 major challenges. The one is technology, because it keeps changing. So the technology which we are adopting must be scalable, must be suitable to the time. The second biggest challenge is economy, the cost which is involved in this technology adoption. And then there is an opportunity cost also, because there is always a conflict between the blue screen and the pink slips. And the third challenge is the social one, because the digital divide which we have to cover, the people must have this thought that this platform is trustworthy, it is neutral, and it is sensitive at the same time. But these are the learnings which we are getting every day, and we are marching ahead based on the feedback which we are receiving from our citizens. And I think within next 2 or 3 years, we are going to launch it in a big way. पिछले सेशन में मैं 2 साल पहले यहाँ आया था. देन ऑफ कोर्स ऑब्जर्वर नाउ वाज नॉट द ऑर्गेनाइजर, सम अदर कंपनी वाज ऑर्गेनाइजिंग इट. एट दैट टाइम वी वर इन द टॉप 3 पोजीशन एज फार द डिजिटल ट्रांजैक्शन वर कंसर्न. अभी हम थोड़ा उसमें पीछे हो गए हैं, बट दिस इज आवर टारगेट दैट बाय नेक्स्ट ईयर अगेन वी विल बी होल्डिंग आवर टॉप 5 पोजीशंस. बिकॉज डिजिटल गवर्नेंस के जो कैटेगरीज हैं जिसको आप कह सकते हो, जिसमें फाइनेंशियल ट्रांजैक्शन एंड ट्रांसफ़र इज़ वन ऑफ द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट। आपकी सब्सिडी का ट्रांसफ़र करना हो, या आपकी स्कॉलरशिप का ट्रांसफ़र करना हो, या आपको यूपीआई पेमेंट करने हो, डिजिटल ट्रांसफ़र्स के थ्रू करते हैं आप। दूसरा जो हमारा, जो हम लोगों ने कैटेगराइज किया है अपने यहाँ, वो है पब्लिक सर्विसेज, जिसमें आप ऑथेंटिकेशन भी करते हो, सर्टिफिकेट्स भी देते हो, पब्लिक सर्विसेज भी करते हो। तीसरा है आपका प्रोजेक्ट मॉनिटरिंग थ्रू MIS, या जैसे हमारे यहाँ एक पोर्टल बना हुआ है CMIS पोर्टल, चीफ मिनिस्टर का पोर्टल है। मोर देन 57 डिपार्टमेंट्स आर देयर एंड मोर देन 16,000 प्रोजेक्ट्स आर देयर, जिसको हम रियल टाइम मॉनिटर करते हैं कि उसमें क्या चल रहा है। एंड देन आपका एक डिजिटल प्लेटफॉर्म को आप यूज़ कर सकते हो गवर्नेंस के लिए एंड ICT पर्पसेस के लिए। एंड आई थिंक द ब्राइटेस्ट एग्जांपल वी हैव ड्यूरिंग कोविड एंड आरोग्य सेतु। सो डिजिटल प्लेटफॉर्म हम कर रहे हैं, साथ साथ हमारा फोकस इस पर भी है कि डेटा सिक्योरिटी एंड डेटा प्राइवेसी, जिस पर अभी सरकार भी बात कर रही है, हम लोग भी कोशिश कर रहे हैं। और जब तक हम NIC के साथ काम कर रहे हैं तब तक ये इशू नहीं आ रहे हैं, लेकिन देयर आर मेनी डिपार्टमेंट्स जिनका जो डिजिटल प्लेटफॉर्म है दैट इज़ बीइंग डेवलप्ड बाय प्राइवेट पार्टीज। So we are also suggesting that there should be a strict security protocol for the audit of these things. So I think that we have a bright future and we are heading with a confident, in a very confident manner. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for sharing these success stories, and UP have a lot of success story. These are few of them. And you have rightly pointed out about the relevance of information security and data security. These are the main concern when we are implementing the new digital solutions or we are switching over to digital platforms. These needs to be taken care. So now I will request Mr. S.K. Varshney to share his success story with a brief time limit of 5 minutes.
Thank you very much. So I'll take it forward from Sameer ji. He told about one particular state. I represent Department of Science and Technology in the Government of India, where we are discussing along with our sister ministries like Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, which includes both NIC, CDAC and other organizations. It was said, and it is true, that necessity is mother of invention. And any kind of disruption which we bring in the system help us to grow and respond to the new conditions. So COVID did exactly that as far as digital governance is concerned. Of course, it was there in the pre-COVID time also. We have already started a platform like Aadhaar, our ATMs and UPI. But question was how, like UPI, how many people were using? But COVID made that change. And the change was that now we prefer not to carry cash. We prefer to make, most of us would prefer to make UPI payment. But what Sameerji said is, the question is trust deficit in the masses. Because we have got a very wide range in our people as far as technological acceptability is concerned. Some people are so pro, so they would like to explore what is new and how best we should go. Some other people are so reserved that they don't want to use. In fact, even when the smartphone were introduced in the market, many elders refused to accept it. And same was happening with the computers. When computers came, elder generation said, no, 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 we are happy in old style of working and we'll continue. Now, post-COVID, everything has changed. See how the education is being delivered. Even for meetings like this, people would ask, can I come in a online mode? Because that saves my time. If I have to come here, I need to spend more time than what actually is needed for this session, which is required for transportation, meeting people and other things. But it has its own dividend. In terms of technology, all governments are looking how we could improve citizen-centric services. So Sameerji mentioned about revenue record, land record, even for example, your driving license, car registrations, your voter card, everything is getting digitalized. And idea is that we should make it more and more people friendly, more and more easy. Of course, internally, within the government also we are making more and more digitalized. Now, I'm sitting with you, but simultaneously I can attend to my office through the digital world. And that is happening. Earlier, there were a lot of restrictions. How can you take papers out of government office? But today, digitally, through various secure platforms, it is possible that I could attend my office sitting in any part of the world. There is a lot of request from the international community. I belong to international corporations, and we are being asked, especially two of our program like Aadhaar and UPI, they have made deep inroads across the world. And people are looking for similar solution in their country. And that should make you proud as an Indian that now India is ready to offer technology solutions. Of course, we are proud of those diaspora who are working in Silicon Valley and other places and doing a lot of digital work. But now India-based companies are providing solutions in most of the not only developing world but also offering solution to developed world. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Please give a big round of applause to Dr. SK. Before we proceed further, now I would like to request Mr. Somenath Kundu to share some of his experience about the information security, because he is, I think, dealing with the information security. Briefly, if you can share about the precautions which can be taken, what are the hurdles in the success story, keeping in view the information security, that will be helpful. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me to this program. So, I am more sort of a B2B, from a B2B background. So, direct public facing is not there in case of a power generation. But as was rightly put by Varshney sir, that whenever there is a disruption, it actually calls for a lot of changes into the basic strategies and policies that are built for a certain environment. And hereby disruption is not only the pandemic, but the disruption of digital transformation by Industry 4.0. So we are facing two aspects of disruptions when the world is slowly moving from a thermal kitty to a more sort of a renewable energy. And along with that, there is a huge thirst of digital transformation, which is to be implemented to enhance the efficiency and optimization. Now, keeping these things into mind, obviously the more convergence that is happening with the production environment and the IT environment, the security aspect is going for a toss. Because of this convergence now, we can think of even for our organizations sitting at home and maybe at some point of time doing office works. However, is it really important that we sit at home and control our power plants? So these kind of things, what is happening is the basic government structure is that we should create a foolproof policy, and that is what is the most important thing, that policy should be a live document. It should continuously be enhanced and modulated as per the requirement of the hour, and not only putting policies in place, but abiding by those policies. And more so since I am from a regulatory background, so where everything is under regulation. So abiding by the government regulatory norms, directives and different compliances is very, very important. And that will actually enhance the transparency part also. The more transparent we are, the more, I would say, agile we will become in all our processes. And that will, at the end of the day, help in maintaining this governance aspect. Another important fact, keeping in view the security aspect, I think that time has come now when we not only think about the organization's own governance with respect to business continuity, but we should also give enormous focus and thirst on third-party governance, because we are dependent for different kinds of, be it components or technology or process, to some other entities. And as these entities are coming through different forms of supply chains or different forms of trade or different mechanisms from some system integrators or other asset owners or service providers. So the third-party governance is very, very important in this aspect. And last but not the least, the awareness among the users. So definitely if be it our organization's employee or be it the common people, if the more and more we will be able to make people aware and make the system even more transparent and easy to approach, the things will definitely enhance as per the target is, and then that will be a real success story as far as digital governance is concerned. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kundu, and I think you have rightly pointed out that user awareness is very important. If user are not aware, then you will find the market-driven solutions. So capacity of the user needs to be improved. And to proceed further, I will invite Mr. Suneel Wattal to share his experience about the Haryana digital governance and success story briefly, because in the government sector it's very difficult to summarize in 5 minutes, but still I would like to.
No,
Yes, please.
to be
Thank
very
you.
honest, I have a lot of success stories, and if I go on talking, I'll talk the whole day. I have almost 20 success stories that I can talk about, but I'll limit myself to only 2. One point which I wanted to make, as Samir sir said, it brings in digital governance, brings in transparency and ease. It also brings in accountability. So one of the major focuses that we have in our digital governance is also accountability. And I will talk about one success story. We have a platform in Haryana, we have a platform called Saral, which is a citizen-centric platform. There are almost 600 services and schemes for which when a citizen applies for a service or for a scheme, it all goes through that single one portal. And we have set up citizen-centric service centers. So either the citizen can apply online from his home or from this citizen-centric center. And the bigger thing is that there's a lot of monitoring happening around this. We get about 1 million applications per month and very rigorous monitoring. We track the turnaround times. We track, because of our right to service parameter, we have SLAs for each service, and we track around, we monitor vis-a-vis those SLAs. So, and we've seen the numbers growing, numbers changing. If we were at about 70% satisfaction level 2 years back, today we are more than 90%. The other success story that I would want to talk about is that we also have a CM dashboard, where our Honorable CM, this was launched very recently, about 2 months back, where our Honorable CM actually has a dashboard. He goes, he does his reviews with the departments, and he also goes at his free time, he just logs into that dashboard. The access is only to the top leadership level, and the extent to which it goes is he can go and see what are the pendencies, and then it also drills down into a particular case where a person has maybe applied for something and there's a phone button and he calls the citizen from the same system, and we've seen it happening. So he talks to the citizen. He also, and if it is something which is pending beyond SLA, he talks to the concerned officer also. So from that perspective, it is both transparency as well as accountability. And these are some of the success stories. I don't want to take too much time, so I'll just rest my case here unless there are any questions.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Suneel. And you have rightly pointed out about the accountability. In this digital governance, accountability is very important pillar, particularly in the government sector, and we needs to be look into this. And this is the era of collaboration, particularly when we talk about the public sector. Any success story, any success, if you'll find, there are 3 main pillars: the policymakers, practitioners, and the industry or a corporate. So unless you collaborate, it's very difficult to get the success story. And similarly in our panel, we will be failing to perform and failing to discuss if we will not include the corporate viewpoint. So I will request Dr. Seema Joshi to share her viewpoint about the role of the corporates and how they feel that success story can be achieved, and what are the role and responsibility of the various stakeholders? Thank you.
Hello. Yeah, thank you, sir. Esri India, as we all know, I mean, this is a geospatial technology company, and which is supporting most of the geospatial initiatives in Government of India. So with our experience of almost 30 plus years in various implementations, there are a number of successful deployments which are using geospatial technologies. So as rightly pointed, sir, there are quite a few factors which are critical for the success of any deployment. And that is where what I would like to bring in is that different stakeholders, like we have very rich data among different agencies, we have very good algorithms, AI technologies, all we have, but unless until all these stakeholders are provided with simple to use applications, apps, and that too in whether it is in middle of crisis or in any situation, if we talk about, for starting from the planning, preparedness, monitoring, at all stages of any project deployment, all stakeholders needs to be equipped with the simple to use applications, and that is where the role of geospatial technology is coming into picture, because it has capability to integrate all different kinds of data sets, whether it is MIS, whether it is drone data, whether it is satellite imagery, aerial photographs, all sensors, IoT. So all different kinds of information seamlessly integrated, and then not only integrated but then communicated to the last mile. So there are quite a few of examples actually in the past. I'll just give one small example. That was there was different analysis. I mean, again, I'm trying to bring in one example for the hazard. There were different information which was, I mean, Brahmaputra flood. Actually, we all are aware. I mean, there are serious Brahmaputra floods we are experiencing. Now, there was instance when using this geospatial technologies, that modeling was done, and it was identified that if so and so much of rainfall will be there, these are the areas which are going to breach. So that information was analyzed, and then it was shared to the officials, but at that time unfortunately it was in the file formats, in the offline formats, and then somehow the action was not taken at that time because it did not reach to the execution agencies in time. So after that, when this rainfall happened and the floods which came, then it was found that 6 months back we had identified already that this is going to happen. So if we would have shared this information to all last mile people, all stakeholders, all policy level executives, that yes, this is going to happen, action has to be taken, we would have not experienced those kind of casualties. So for that, sir, I mean, there are states like Rajasthan, there are states like Meghalaya. We already have that statewide implementation, which is catering to not only few departments, but each end-to-end department is accessing common integrated information and using simple to use apps for decision making. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Seema Joshi ji. And I think you have rightly pointed out that success story can be achieved in the digital governance through data analysis and information, which are very important and critical component of the digital governance. So we now move to Mr. Rajat Bhasin, who will also, I think, share his viewpoint about the data analysis or success story, or what is the challenges they are facing about the success story. Because what I know about the solutions is about the standardization of the existing data and how format are creating problems. So, Mr. Rajat Bhasin.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So we heard different use cases for everyone, right? And for a technology provider like us, the MongoDB, our success is when we make these ideas into the reality. And who make these ideas into the reality are the developers. So in every use cases we talked about, like Mr. Arora just mentioned, the standardization. Every use case you talk about, you're not talking about a simple data set. You are talking about the variety of data. Like ma'am just talked about geospatial data. You are talking about a blob data, images and all these things. So in order to make all these ideas into something, you need a very strong backend to be built, which can accommodate any type of data. Like you are dealing with the problem where the variety of the data is coming. Along with the variety, you are also dealing with the problem where the volume is too high. You're not talking about a few GBs, you're talking about terabytes or sometimes in the petabyte. So even the velocity, the data is not coming with a single source, multiple sources the data can be coming. So for us, the success, and we see this challenge with the multiple industries, they have the idea, but how to implement that, how to make the backend to be strong, that is scalable as well as secure. So we built the platform that help you to handle those challenges, not only just make your application ready for today, but to be a future ready. And that's the thing, like I don't go and promote MongoDB, but whenever you're building this component, the technology which you're choosing, these factors should always be considered. Are we able to handle the variety of the data which you are coming? Because we don't want, like if you have just heard from Bhavesh, the previous presentation, and that's the thing I've seen in every industries, either it's a government sector or it's a public, they are dealing with the architecture which is so complex. Because the use case is not dealing with one particular data. So it's a huge technologies, multiple technologies they have to deal with. So when you are building something to be a successful, it should be a scalable, a compact technology that caters multiple use cases. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Rajat. And we will not go for the second round of talk because we are already overshooting the time. But we will take couple of questions from the audience. If any questions are there, we can. Anybody? Yes, please. Can you give the mic this right side, please? Yes.
So this question is to Sameer sir. Sir, I've invested in Yamuna Expressway. So if you can throw some light on, because there's some pharma parks coming, Ramdev's, I think, park is already there, operational there. So what is the status, how soon, because Film City is also coming. So if you can throw.
So,
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, thank you. Any? Yes, please. So.
Hi, my name is Aman Verma. I'm from KNS Partners. My question was for Sameer sir. So you mentioned that in many of your dealings with third parties, wherein a lot of citizens' data is collected and there are services to be rendered to the citizens, there are issues with data privacy and data security. So I just want to ask, how do you ensure data privacy and how do you ensure that there is no cross-border transfer of data from the third parties? We see that the DPDP bill is still in bill stage. Yesterday there was a circulation of what was being tabled in Lok Sabha. So how do you deal with it?
So both the question goes to Mr. Sameer. So I will request to reply them.
Yeah, I don't know why they are loving me so much. And as far as the first question is concerned, because this whole session is about digital governance, the Yamuna Authority की भी website है, there you can get all the information, otherwise you can make them a call. Because I do not belong to that field, so I am not in a position to answer you correctly that what is the status of their industrial park and pharma park. As far as the film city is concerned, I am a part of that, and discussions are going on, and very soon we will be coming with a global bid also, and we have almost finalized it. And this film city is going to be in an area of around 1,000 acres. We're having all the facilities for filmmaking, news making, production, editing, post-production, whatever you say that is related to film production, everything will be there. But as far as this pharma policy is concerned, yes, of course, I would like to add it here. UP government is heading towards making its own pharmaceutical policy, taking experiences from all other states who are doing already well in the pharma sector, like Goa, like Sikkim, Himachal, Gujarat. We have drafted our own pharmaceutical policy and we are coming forward with that. And that is going to boost our production, and we want to be a major exporter as far as the pharma is concerned, our state. The second question was regarding data security and data privacy. मैंने जितनी भी स्कीम्स के नाम लिए या जो भी आपको प्रोग्राम्स बताए, वो सारे के सारे हमारे यहाँ NIC के थ्रू हम हैंडल करते हैं, और NIC का अपना बहुत ही स्ट्रिक्ट सिक्योरिटी ऑडिट प्रोटोकॉल होता है, और इसीलिए अभी तक ऐसा कोई केस हमारे पास नहीं आया है। जैसे हमारा जो प्लेटफॉर्म सबसे बड़ा IGRS है, जिसमें हम लोगों के मोबाइल नंबर और एड्रेस से लेकर के उनके आधार का वेरिफिकेशन भी लेते हैं कभी कभी, तो वो सारा डेटाबेस बहुत बड़ा डेटा है, और अगर वी नो कि अगर ये किसी रिस्पॉन्सिबल जगह पे जाता है तो दैट कैन क्रिएट अ प्रॉब्लम। इसीलिए मैंने जब अपनी बात कही थी तो लास्ट में मैंने इसको क्लोज इस बात से किया था कि बहुत सारे गवर्नमेंट डिपार्टमेंट्स हमारे ऐसे हैं, जैसे अथॉरिटीज़ एंड कॉरपोरेशंस हैं, जिनका वेबसाइट डेवलपमेंट या डेटा मैनेजमेंट का काम प्राइवेट वेंडर के थ्रू होता है या प्राइवेट पार्टीज़ के थ्रू होता है। तो हम उस पर काम कर रहे हैं कि जितने भी इस तरह के सिटीजन सेंट्रिक सर्विसेज हैं, अगर उनका कोई प्लेटफॉर्म अगर किसी प्राइवेट डेवलपर ने भी किया हो, तो देयर शुड बी ए स्ट्रिक्ट सिक्योरिटी ऑडिट प्रोटोकॉल फॉर देम ऑल्सो, सो दैट एट एनी कॉस्ट द डेटा शुड बी सिक्योर्ड. Data should not be transferred to any unauthorized person, and we will definitely be working in line with the proposed bill which is going to be under discussion very soon. And we know that in European countries and in America also, if you breach the data, you have to pay a very heavy fine. And as far as the Indian draft is concerned, यहाँ पे भी 500 करोड़ रुपए के आसपास का provision उन्होंने किया हुआ है. So we are waiting for that draft to come up. But as of now, because we do with our business with NIC, and NIC, they have a very strict security protocol. They are government agency, but let me tell you, they are very good.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for addressing the questions. And thank you, everyone, all our panelists for giving their viewpoint and success stories. And I will request everyone to give a first big round of applause for our audience, because they are staying patient and listening, everyone. And now big round of applause for our panelists and speakers. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And yes, with that, we would like to felicitate all the wonderful speakers. एक बार थोड़ी जोरदार तालियां. Come on, everybody. And to do the honor, I would like to request Ms. Shivani Babbar to please step on the stage and do the honor one by one. Let us begin by felicitating Mr. Sameer Verma. Ladies and gentlemen, the IAS officer present here with us. Come on. Well, now we would like to thank Mr. S.K. Varshney. Well, अब हम धन्यवाद करना चाहेंगे Mr. Suneel Wattal. Thank you so much, Mr. Somenath Kundu, for joining us here. Thank you so much. Well, next we would like to thank Mr. Rajat, Bhasin. And Dr. Seema, Joshi, ladies and gentlemen, here with us. Put your hands together for the beautiful lady. Come on. And last but not the least, the moderator of the session, Dr. R.K. Arora, ladies and gentlemen, who conducted the session so gracefully. Come on, everybody.